I still can't get a hold of her. Were there guests over today? When I checked the clock, it was past 10 o'clock already. Since then, I tried calling Chigure, oh my god, several times but couldn't get through to her. And just like that, it had already gone this late. I've never gone this long without hearing from Chigure. I really didn't understand my family's schedule at all. You haven't even grown that much. What are you two talking about? Vanilla, you're the only one who changed. I can't speak. In any case, don't worry about the bath. You two need to get ready to go home. Stop feigning ignorance, you two. Cut that out. The two of them looked my way, about to distract me again. Since Chigure isn't picking up, I'll take you two home. So, go get ready to leave. Chocola and Vanilla turned away from me and cast their gazes downward. Returning home on the same day I had moved out. Seemed to be such a stupid idea that I did hesitate a bit. There was no other way. Nor was there time for excuses. I looked towards Chocola and Vanilla as they hung their heads in silence and continued on. Listen up, you two. I'm going to open my bakery. I've got no one to rely on, so I don't know how things will turn out. With all that's going on, I don't know if I can take care of you two. Get it? I mean, it's already going to be difficult enough just looking after myself. It was a quiet voice I could barely hear. Chocolate said something with her head down. What'd you say? Huh? Punk? I came closer and asked her to repeat herself. Wait, hey, Chocolate! Wait, stop! Vanilla, why are you running away too? It's dangerous, so stop running around. If you fall, you'll get hurt. Maybe so in Chocolate's case. But aren't you bad with physical activity? Come on, I've got you now, Chocolate. I'm not. It's because you two are running around. Hey, stop it. You're still going to run? Yeah, I got you, Vanilla. What? Chocolate, stop. Really, stop. Like I said, stop running. The two of them didn't listen to a word I said as they continued to mess with me. And that how was... oh shit. For now, I'll let you stay, but only for tonight. I don't have any guest beds or futons, okay? While all that was happening, 11 o'clock became midnight. Even if I took them home, everyone was sure to be asleep by now. The one glimmer of hope I had that Chigure would call me back didn't happen, so I decided that taking them home tomorrow was my first priority. Cleverly, they had even brought pajamas. Just how much planning went into their schemes anyway? Really, if you two sleep there, where will I?
バニラに囲まれて幸せにゃん。
Don't get ahead of yourself, you two. A single bed for 3 people is too crowded.
じゃあ押しかけたのはショコラたちですし、ここでいいですよ。猫らしく丸まって寝ますし。贅沢は言わない私たち、超けなげ。猫の鏡。
I watched the two of them lie down and curl up on the floor of an empty room without even curtains. That's way too pitiful of a sight to be called praiseworthy.
段ボールたくさんありますよね。お家作ったらあったかいって聞いたし、なんとかなる気がする。
That's something only strange people would say. Where did these cat girls get this information from anyway? Well, they probably read a lot of books and watched TV in Shigure's room. Chocolate isn't good with kanji characters, so she only reads picture books though. Ah, whatever. You two, go sleep in my bed. It still gets pretty cold at night in April after all. We're going to sleep on the sofa in the living room. The sofa can fit 1 person, and there's air conditioning in there if I need it.
ご主人様はバニラと一緒にお布団で寝てください。私こそソファーのが落ち着く。ショコラとご主人でベッド使えばいい。
They moved quickly towards me like lions catching their prey. I placed my hands on their heads and spoke in a clear and stern voice. Listen up! I'll sleep on the sofa and you two will sleep in my bed. Those are your master's orders. Understood? Oh god, can't speak.
ご主人。
I said it like that, deliberately. The two of them looked as if they wanted to say something, but they hesitated. They lowered their head apologetically.
ご主人様、ごめんなさい。ご主人。
They mustered out. They looked like they were on the verge of tears. Their obedience had the exact opposite of the effect I expected it. It filled me with guilt. I felt a prickling sensation in my chest. That pain left me as I sighed and rubbed the two of them on the head. Come on, get going. Night. If anything happens, call for me right away.
おやすみなさい。ご主人様。おやすみ、ご主人。
I gently rubbed the heads of the 2 dispirited girls once more. See you in the morning. With that said, I turned the lights off in their room.
ご主人様。本当にごめんなさい。迷惑をかけてしまって。
Her vanishing voice echoed slightly in the darkened room. The pain in my heart from before became even sharper. I swallowed that pain and replied cheerfully. It's okay, if it's just for one night, don't worry about it. Now then, go to sleep. I really shouldn't act on my emotions, huh? I laid on the sofa. I sighed while staring at the ceiling. If I gave in to my emotions, the result would just lead to more sadness. If I used kind or hopeful words, they would all end up as lies. It's pretty uncool of me to be so passive like this. While I continued to pile on insults and make excuses for my actions, I closed my eyes and waited for sleep to take over.
Nekopara. その件に関しては、ショコラとバニラの意思を尊重したいと思います。ショコラとバニラがちゃんと納得したら迎えに行きますので。
It's what you told me when I was finally able to get in touch with her. Without any margin of negotiation space, I was struck down. But Shigure, even if you say that, I don't think chocolate and vanilla will.
この妹目に今朝の愛のささやきを。
Don't make it sound like it's a daily ritual or something. In any case,
お父様から呼ばれましたので失礼いたします。愛してますわ、兄様。ではまた。
Oh wait, cigarette. Seriously? As the ruthless electronic buzz of the dropped call echoed, I stared at my cell phone. And here I thought that I could sort all this out if I could just talk to Shigure.
朝ごはん美味しいですね。ご主人様のご飯はいつでも美味しいですにゃ。ショコラ、ほっぺにケチャップついてる。芸術的に可愛い。舐めてあげちゃう。ピロピロ。
The cat girls in question were happily stuffing themselves with sandwiches. These sandwiches incidentally contained tomato, cheese, and lettuce, with an over-easy fried egg tucked inside all of that. It was a simple meal. Breakfast was pretty much like this. You two are definitely going home today, okay?
ショコラたちといるの楽しくないですか？ショコラは楽しいですよ。もうそれは今世紀最大級に。昨晩はご主人だって結構お楽しみだったくせに。
Stop with the deliberately misleading words. I sighed at their happy-go-lucky mindset. I took the opportunity to fill their empty glasses with milk. The eating habits of cat girls were pretty much the same as those of humans, so that part was straightforward. Of course, what they liked and disliked depended on each individual. In the end, I wasn't able to get everything put away yesterday. Today, I really do have to start getting ready for the bakery's opening too. That's why I don't have time to relax and play with you two. Be good girls and go home. I said that to them with a sandwich in my hand. She put her sandwich down on her plate, and just like yesterday, she looked at me with upturned eyes. Yeah, it's a problem. I answered her clearly. Why? Her shoulders drooped more than before. The ears which sat atop her head drooped downheartedly too. Unable to make fun of anything, Vanilla could only look on with concern. The pain from last night pricked at my heart again. I tilted the already cooled coffee cup, as my emotions dulled unimpeded by my judgment. Ah! Her usually always perky ears were drooping. Chocola was speaking clearly, clearly under her own volition. Vanilla's usually blank expression did not change. However, she showed me her strong determination. I don't remember Chocola or Vanilla ever being this disobedient. That thought stayed in the back of my head. But if I was going to be swayed by that, then I wouldn't have said this. Understood? Hello?
ご注文ありがとうございます。ロイヤルウッドです。ご注文いただきましたティーセットの配達にお伺いしました。ではこちらお店の中にこちらの段ボールで全部ですね。では間違いなければ受領書にサインをいただいてもよろしいでしょうか。
She smiled brightly and brought out the invoice along with the pen. Okay, let's see. I looked over the sales invoice I received much more. Somehow, this doesn't look like what I've ordered.
それは品物が違うということでしょうか。
No, the stuff I ordered is in here too, but... I looked over at the pile of boxes inside the bakery. Inside of my tiny bakery was a mountain of boxes. A mountain! It was as if the inside of the bakery had become completely made of boxes. As you can see, we don't need this much tableware inside the bakery. 少々お待ちいただいてもよろしいでしょうか。大変申し訳ございません。こちらのミスで別の注文書と混じってしまっていたようでして、水月様の方もすぐにご入りようと思いますので、もしよろしければ。 Accept this order? Huh? From all this? The mountain of cardboard boxes towered over everything. I was at a loss for words. Every box was of equal size. I wouldn't know what was inside of each of them without opening them up. On top of that, looking at the sales invoice, I could see that they all contained an expensive tea set and table row. If I accepted it all, it would be a lot of work to deal with all the new items. There's still things I need to be doing in advance of my bakery's opening, so I don't mind accepting these, but it's gonna take a while to deal with all of this. Look, you don't need to put all this pressure on me. From looks of it, it'll take 2 hours or more. But to have it re-delivered would take double the effort too. Hello? That's right, I have a lifeline.
猫ちゃんたち本当に助かりました。ありがとうございます。本当にありがとうございます。では私はこれで失礼させていただきますね。
I'm exhausted. I glanced at the table where we had finished organizing, lowered myself into a chair and relaxed my shoulders.
ご主人様、冷たいお茶です。どうぞ。
Thanks, Chocolate. I don't mind if I do. I downed the cold tea in one gulp. Somehow or another, the light meal tableware had arrived. Soon, I really had to get the bakery ready for its opening. I did say I needed any help I could find, and I really did need help this time. I could sense the praise me aura coming from Chocolate. She had a wide smile on her face and was in a ready stance to receive my approval. Thanks. I couldn't have done it without you two. Hey, you two are getting a bit too close, leaning forward towards me for emphasis. It is true that without you two around, this would have been a real problem. But that's a different issue from the one from before. You two have to get back home. Besides, it's not like I could ask you two for work from me or anything, okay? Her shoulders drooped along with her ears and tail. The enthusiasm she showed me earlier had completely disappeared. She sighed deeply and looked disheartened. He trudged up to the second floor, still dejected. Chocolate isn't an idiot. I knew she was pushing herself to be bright and full of energy. But even so, this wasn't something I was going to easily change my mind about. It was all the more with how much she cared for me. She spoke quietly in her usual way. Vanilla tilted her head as she asked that question. You two aren't bad cat girls, and that's why I can't have you stay here. It's because you two are good cat girls that I can't allow it. She blinked as though she took in my words. It was almost as if she was trying to peer inside my heart. She stared directly at me, long and hard. Vanilla. With those words, she went upstairs. The sound of her soft footsteps slowly disappeared, and before long, I couldn't hear them anymore. Humans are hard to understand, huh? Inside the bakery, now devoid of anyone but myself, I repeated those words she had just said to me. Now that I think about it, that's a pretty inconsistent way of thinking, isn't it? Cats do not understand that way. Having heard that said aloud, I began to understand what it really meant. Must be pretty nice to live the simple life of a cat girl, huh? I pondered as I looked at the name of the bakery affixed to the window. With a bitter smile, I began to clean up the tea sets that had arrived earlier.
Nekopara. あれ、今日はあのたこ焼き屋がいない。
Just like yesterday, we took a walk through the park in the evening. However, that food stand was nowhere to be found. It just so happened that no one was home on the day I decided to take the two cat girls home. I had also happened to leave the house key behind, so to make good use of the time, I went to do some shopping before Shigure got home.
ごめんバニラ。なんだっけ、また旅だっけ。だいたいそんな感じ。
It isn't the right word at all. Chocolat, if you're tired, why don't we rest a bit?
私だけ。でも大丈夫ですから。心配かけてごめんなさい、ご主人様。
There's no need for you to apologize. She had a troubled smile on her face as she nodded. It was pretty clear why she wasn't in good spirits. That's why there was nothing I could really say to her. Well, there happens to be a bench over there, so why don't we rest a bit?
何か飲み物買ってくる。
Ah, thanks. Something for everyone, okay?
出された。
I handed Vanilla some change and offered the bench chocolate. The constant sea breeze rustled the trees in the park. All that could be heard throughout the empty park were the quiet sounds of nature. I silently sat down next to the disheartened chocolate. Like the gently setting sun, time passed by slowly.
入ります。
Her voice was so quiet that I wasn't quite sure if I had heard her or not. Even though, she answered clearly. Without saying a word, I responded by gently rubbing Chocolate's head.
主人様に電話してもいいですか。また
Yeah,
ご主人様のところに遊びに来てもいいですか。
yeah.
主人様はショコラたちのことはちゃんと毎日思い出してくれますか。ショコラは離れててもご主人様って呼んでてもいいですか。
Her voice trembled as she frantically wiped away her tears. She stifled her sobbing and her voice became strained. She looked pained as she did her best to hold back her emotions, biting her lip. I held back my irresponsible words that were on the brink of coming out with all my strength. Yeah, of course I will.
主人様、ごめんなさい。主人様。
I was frustrated at myself for saying nothing. I was empty. I could only offer condolences that could not be put into words. I rubbed Chocolate's head as gently as I could.
やっぱりご主人様は優しいですね。
I don't really think I'm kind at all.
主人様、前も同じこと言ってましたから。
Before? Chocolate closed her eyes and
覚
smiled.
えてますか。ショコラとバニラをご主人様としぐれちゃんが連れて帰ってくれた時のこと。
Of course I remember that. It was a cold day half a year ago. Chocolate and Vanilla were huddled together, crying by the side of the road. They were still so young, they couldn't even speak yet. It was that day that I embraced their small cold bodies and took them home with me. There was no way I could simply forget that important day when I finally grew. In the beginning, you two really couldn't get used to the things at
知
home.
らないお家で知らない人と猫ばっかりで怖くて。
You two wouldn't eat at all, which really worried Shigure.
とても心配かけちゃいました。
I started to hear a tiny bit of laughter in her voice as we reminisced.
ショコラとバニラが熱を出した時のことも。
I definitely do remember that. It was a few days after we brought Chocolate and Vanilla home. At that point, They'd only occasionally drink some water. And as always, they didn't really touch their food. The combination of malnourishment and cold weather had really begun to weaken their bodies. They both developed high fevers and were in
あの時は
pain.
夜中で誰にも気づいてもらえなくて、とにかく苦しくて辛くて寂しくて、声も出せなくて、手も足も全然動かなくて、助けて、誰か助けてって思いながらただただ泣いてたんです。そしたら
It's alright, I'm with you too, so don't worry.
大きくてあったかい手でずっとそばで大丈夫大丈夫って言い続けてくれて、ショコラとバニラのこと撫で続けてくれてました。朝になって病院に行くまでずっとそばにいてくれて、不安で心細かったのが全部嘘だったみたいに。あの時も同じこと言ってました。俺は別に優しくなんかないって。でもショコラたちはご主人様が助けてくれなかったらここにいなかったです。あの時ご主人様がそばにいてくれなかったら誰も信じられないままでした。ご主人様のおかげでご飯も食べれるようになりました。しぐれちゃんともみんなとも仲良くなりました。だからあの時からショコラのご主人様はご主人様になったんです。ショコラはそれからずっと優しいご主人様のことが大好きなんですよ。
I wish that her tear-filled eyes would not spill over. Those tears were filled with anxiety, sadness, and happiness. She smiled all she could before me.
ショコラはご主人様がいなくなっちゃうって聞いて、いても立ってもいられなくて、どうしても一緒に行きたくて、しぐれちゃんにお願いをしたんです。
She said that with the faintest of smiles, one that it seemed as if would disappear at any moment. What? Oh. Those words were so gentle and warm, but there was also an undeniable sadness and emptiness mixed in with them. Chocola. I was the one she was saying to all of this to. Even so, the only thing I could say back to her was her name.
のこととか難しいことはやっぱり猫にはわからないです。でもやっぱりショコラはご主人様のそばにいたいんです。ご主人様が辛くて大変そうなのなんとなくわかります。本当になんとなくですけど、お掃除でもお洗濯でもお料理でもショコラがお手伝いできることは何でもしますから。今すぐにはできなくても絶対にちゃんとできるようになりますから。だからもう一度だけお願いしちゃダメでしょうか。ショコラはご主人様と一緒にいたいんです。
Chocolate voiced her feelings clearly once again, and barely kept her tears from overflowing. If you could be with me. I was engulfed by my inner thoughts, which were ready to overflow. She yearned for me so earnestly. For her to so innocently believe in me, there should be no reason for me to be against it. That day, chocolate and vanilla became an important part of my family. As long as they were with me, the days would be bright and enjoyable. I was simply selfish for just leaving home like that. I didn't want to get my dear family wrapped up in my selfishness, or have them experience any unnecessary hardship because of me. You two are important to me, after all.
私たちは猫だから自分に素直なだけ。
My inner conflict was disrupted by Vanilla. Vanilla had returned at some point, and she looked straight at me as she sat at Chocolate's side.
楽しいことならショコラと一緒がいい。たとえ辛いことでもショコラと一緒にいたいと思う。だって一緒にいれないことの方が寂しくて辛いから。本当に好きなら迷惑か けたって一緒にいたい。それでも一緒にいたいものだと思う。私たちが幸せかどうかなんていくらご主人でも決めつけるのは違うと思うよ。それに大事な人が大変ならなおさらそばにいたい。何ができるかはわからないけど、でも辛い時にそばで励ますことくらいできるよ。
It was as if her gentle, warm, and soft smile had become the setting sun. These uncharacteristic words from Vanilla deeply penetrated and seeped into my heart.
しぐれも私たちがご主人のところについていくのを許してくれた。しぐれはご主人と一緒に行くことはできないから代わりにお願いって。だからご主人が本当にショコラのことを思うなら一緒にいるべきだと思う。
There was not even the faintest bit of hesitation. They were such honest and absolutely straightforward words. Who am I to dictate Chocolate and Vanilla's happiness? Only those words continued to strongly resonate in my mind, which was otherwise empty.
何不自由のない暮らしでもご主人様がいないのは嫌なんです。いくら大変でもショコラはご主人様と一緒にいたいんです。だからお願いします。ご主人様のそばにいさせてください。ここがショコラがいたい場所なんです。
She was on the verge of tears. The chocolate's face lit up. There was nothing but absolutely pure, genuine words. Humans really are a lot of worse for words when it comes to cat girls, huh? Saying no to their words was not something I could bring myself to do.
それって
It won't be like it was back at home. You can't just live here however you like, got it?
大丈夫です。ご主人様がいるだけでショコラは幸せですから。やれやれ、ついにご主人陥落。いやよいやよもう好きのうちだね。
The dreary moment seemed to be blown away by her dazzling smile. Despite all this talk about family, perhaps I was the one that didn't really believe in it. Thinking about all of this from their perspective, it was very simple. Although I thought it was all still so immature. Perhaps cat girls were more human than humans were when it came to honesty. From here on out, we need to do our best all together. お肉も A4 でいい。松阪牛なら。 Is that all you guys have been eating at home? Even if the road ahead of us is uncertain, I lovingly rubbed their heads, disheveling their hairs. Whoops!